I'm going to be making 3 different hummuses with 3 different toppings, and then I'm going to make Yotam taste them to see if he can spot the difference and which hummus is his favorite. The key to making the creamiest, dreamiest hummus is in the chickpea. So today I am making 3 hummuses with 3 different kinds of chickpeas. We've got dried chickpeas, we've got jarred chickpeas, and we've got tinned or canned chickpeas, which is the most readily available. I'm going to show you the OTK's way of making the creamiest, dreamiest hummus that ever did exist, using dried chickpeas, which I soaked overnight. We recently made this hummus, and we truly believe, after all of our tests, that dried chickpeas result in the best hummus that there is. However, I also want to show you how to apply the same method to 2 different types of chickpeas, jarred and also tinned or canned chickpeas. So let's show you how to make hummus. I've got a bowl here and I've got my dried chickpeas. I'm gonna put them in about 200 grams, which I'm just gonna eyeball. I made this yesterday, so I do remember. And I'm going to add a bit of bicarbonate of soda. That kind of helps soften the chickpeas. And I'm going to fill it with enough water to cover by about 3 or 4 centimeters. And now I'm gonna just cover it with a plate, and I'm gonna set it aside overnight, or at least 8 hours. You really wanna give them that soak, otherwise they're just not gonna be as soft or cook as evenly. So it's really just a matter of doing that. Takes a couple minutes, and then the next day your chickpeas are ready to cook. But obviously, to speed things up, I've already cooked my chickpeas. You're gonna put them into a saucepan, fill them with fresh water, and add a bit more bicarb to help them kind of cook and soften. Every chickpea is kind of different, so you might want to cook them for 20 minutes. They might take maybe 45 minutes. It really depends on how old or how fresh your chickpeas are. Mine took about 25 minutes, and I checked them at the 20-minute mark. So what you're looking for is you want your chickpeas to be really nice and softened for hummus especially. You don't want like a al dente chickpea. If you overcook it a bit for this purpose, it's actually a really good thing. I'm adding a pinch of cumin to the chickpea water. This is completely optional. I like to add it because it adds a very subtle cumin flavor to your hummus, which is really nice. I also salted the water towards the last 10 minutes of cooking because I do want a bit of salt in those chickpeas. Now, for the part that is a bit tedious, but it's totally worth it. You'll see in this bowl here, I've already started getting rid of the chickpea skins. This will result in the creamiest hummus ever. And there's a number of ways you can do it, but the good thing is the bicarb that we put in the water earlier and we soaked the chickpeas in really helps those chickpeas, those skins kind of release from the chickpeas. And then if you just kind of agitate your chickpeas a little bit, you'll see that the skins start to come off really easily. And what you can do is you just get like a slotted spoon and kind of just take off as much of the skin as you can. I've already done most of it, so a lot of it is already gone. It's quite satisfying, actually. You don't have to be super, super perfect about it. If you get some skins, it's fine, as long as you get rid of most of it. I'm going to drain the chickpeas in here, and I'm doing it over a bowl because I want to catch some of the chickpea liquid. It's super flavorful, so I'm gonna use a tiny bit of it for the hummus, but whatever's left, you can use it for like stews and soups. It's got really nice chickpea flavor, and I really like it personally. And now I'm gonna start making my hummus. I'm going to make the hummus in a food processor. This is the best way to make your hummus. It will get you the smoothest results possible. So my chickpeas are still warm, which is what I want. I'm gonna add them straight in. And I'm also going to add the other magic ingredient of hummus, which is tahini. It's really important that you source the best quality tahini that you can find. Middle Eastern tahini from the Levant. Usually countries like Lebanon and Palestine have the best tahini there is. So if there's a Middle Eastern store near you, I would highly recommend you go there, pay them a visit, and get the best tahini possible. Oh, our pita breads are ready. Look. Oh, they look so good. Oh, little pockets. Yeah, another minute. What do you think? Ooh, hot. Oh, that was hot. That's hot. All right. So back to tahini. I'm going to add a healthy amount of tahini. Don't be shy of using a lot of tahini. And every hummus and every chickpea you use, some will require more, some will require less. So make sure you use a generous amount and then taste it and see if you want a bit more. And then I'm also gonna add some lemon juice, about a tablespoon to start. If I wanna add more later when I taste it, I can do that as well. And then a bit of garlic. I don't like my hummus too garlicky, so I'm just gonna add about 1 clove or 2 small ones. I'm just gonna crush it directly in there. And then we're gonna season it with a bit of salt. And then the odd looking thing in the room is ice. This is a super cool magic trick. You have warm chickpeas and you have cold ice, so that really helps aerate your chickpeas and give you like a really nice, light, airy, fluffy hummus, which is what you want. So I just start with a bit, and then I'm going to add a bit of this cumin chickpea water that we saved earlier. Just a little bit, like a tablespoon or so, to help it kind of move along. And then if we need more, we can add more. And then we blitz. So you really want to let it go for a few minutes. I'm going to taste it now, see if it needs anything else, and then I'm going to let it blend for a bit more because I really want it to be super, super, super smooth. We don't want grainy hummus at all. So I'm just going to give it a taste. So for me, I would add a bit more lemon. Yeah, just a bit more lemon, really. I think tahini levels are good. And salt levels are good because we also salted the chickpeas in the water, so you don't want to add too much salt, just a pinch, and that's enough. I might add a tiny bit more of the ice to kind of, aerate it. And then one thing that I forgot to mention is olive oil. Olive oil, please don't add olive oil to the base of your hummus because there's plenty of fat in the tahini to homogenize the whole mixture. The olive oil is really good though when you kind of pour it all over on top, so that when you kind of get it with that pita bread, you get a bit of olive oil and then you get a bit of hummus, and it's the perfect bite. So now I'm gonna just check the consistency just to see how I like it, if it's smooth enough. For me, that's very smooth because you can see it's quite pasty still, but it's not runny. You don't want it to be like a tahini consistency. You want it to still be like a nice, smooth, amazing paste. If you want it to be a bit thinner or smoother, you can feel free to add a bit of ice while it's running, or a tiny bit more of the chickpea water to get it to the consistency that you like. I think that you need a wide, shallow bowl for hummus because then you can put loads of different toppings in and you have enough surface area to do that. These are warm chickpeas, so you have to also keep in mind that it will thicken as it sits. So maybe just get it a tiny bit looser than you want it. The thing with hummus is that if you leave it out like this, and you don't cover the surface and you're not gonna serve it right away, it's gonna develop like a skin on top, which you don't want. So either you should cover it in a container if you're not gonna plate it right away, or you cover it the surface with a piece of parchment paper or reusable plastic wrap, or anything that is gonna just cover that surface and prevent it from developing that skin. And I'm gonna set it aside while I make my other 2 hummuses, and then we're going to make some really delicious toppings. I've made my 3 hummuses now, which I've kept covered here and labeled so I don't forget which one is which. The cool thing about hummus is that you can customize it whatever way you want with loads of different toppings. So I'm gonna go through 3 different toppings now, which are just really quick to put together, just so we can personalize each of our hummuses. You'll see here that I've got peas, some herbs, what I had in the fridge, some mint, some parsley, a bit of garlic, a bit of lemon juice, a bit of oil, and I just want to blitz that with a bit of tahini. It's got some tahini in there and a bit of za'atar. This is loosely based on another recipe that we have in the book for a dip of peas, tahini, and za'atar. So if you want to know how to make that, then you can find it in our book. So I'm just gonna pop it right into here, of course, with za'atar, because that adds that beautiful, yummy, herbaceous flavor, as much or as little as you want, really. And I'm just gonna give it a really rough blitz. I don't wanna make it super smooth. I'm gonna set that aside, and I use frozen peas, by the way, which are great because we always have a bag of those in our freezers. So now for my next topping, I'm going to just fry the pine nuts in a bit of oil, and then I'm going to add a bit of harissa. Harissa is chili paste. If you can't find harissa at all, you can just add a bit of paprika or some chili flakes. And I'm just gonna set it aside now so it can cool down a bit. Now I've got this oil here heating up, which I'm gonna add a bit of crushed garlic to. And I'm also gonna add my spices. You can add whatever spices you like. I wanted to do a bit of cumin, a bit of cinnamon, and a bit of Aleppo chili. You can use whole spices if you like, but I use ground spices because I really want it to coat the chickpeas really nicely. These are the chickpeas that I saved. And then I'm just gonna kind of toss it in that oil just to warm it through and have it be all nice and delicious. So I'm just gonna let that cook for a couple minutes on a medium heat, and I'm just gonna chop some parsley while I'm at it. Okay, I'm just gonna season them with a bit of salt. I'm just gently warming them through. You don't really wanna, I'm not toasting them, I'm trying to get any color in. I just want some warm chickpeas on my hummus. So I'm just gonna take it off the heat now and add my chopped parsley. And I'm also gonna add a bit of lemon juice as well. Stir that all together and set that aside. So we've got our 3 toppings here. We've got warm chickpeas and spices and lemon juice and herbs. We've got these pine nuts with harissa. And we also have the tahini, za'atar, and pea mixture. And I'm gonna add some pomegranates and some za'atar oil onto. This is the tin chickpea hummus with harissa and pine nuts. This is the jarred chickpea hummus with warm spiced chickpeas and lemon. And this is the dried chickpeas with a pea and za'atar topping.
Ta-da!
Oh, and she's even wrapped it up like a gift. The thing is, when you make your pita and you don't want it to dry out, it's really good to keep it in a cloth like this.
Definitely.
Wow.
It's so fluffy and puffy.
Open it up, Dee.
Well, this one's, sorry,
This one's open. She got excited.
I got excited earlier on.
Oh, I love it. Oh, it's great.
It's missing something.
Is it hummus?
Yeah, I'll leave you to. I'll have some later.
Okay. All right, Yossam. It's your time now.
I don't know why, but I feel very pressurized at the moment.
Yeah.
Like it's
All
not.
eyes are on you, literally.
Because for years, I've been saying dried chickpeas, saying nothing.
He's not gonna say anything until the end. Even I'm feeling really pressured. Like, I don't even know. Like, am I doing justice to all these other chickpeas?
It's not so difficult. I have to say one thing that I'm surprising myself. They're all pretty good. I know you've got the magic hands when it comes to hummus.
No, but the thing is, it's the same recipe. It's the same approach for all 3 of them. They all were warm chickpeas, no skins, plenty of good tahini, no olive oil, ice. The only difference was the chickpea.
Yeah. So it goes for me. It goes 3, 2, 1. So least favorite, second, and my most favorite is this baby here. Right.
All right.
In this order. What is it?
Are you ready to see?
I'm ready to be shocked.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. Wow, so those jarred chickpeas have won the
They won the Hummus Games.
Oh my goodness.
I find it hard to choose between these 2. I don't know, I think the dried is still really good.
There's something a little bit...
There's just an edge.
A bit creamier
There's a bit
here.
of an edge here.
And I can't believe I'm saying that, because for years I've been advocating using this. But this is also quite an expensive option, because those really high quality Spanish or Portuguese brands are way more expensive than this. So considering these are pretty close, I think we advocate, if you want to spend a lot of money, those really, really good chickpeas, or if you want to spend a bit less, you get something almost as good with those dried chickpeas. But if you can get the really, really big
Yeah.
Dried chickpeas, I think those would be the best.
I also do have to say that their tin chickpeas, this is still a really good hummus. So, you know,
I agree.
I think the whole point of this experiment is that, you know, you can have alternatives. You don't have to have dried chickpeas. You can do it with tinned, you can do it with jarred. You can still get really good results.
And I have to say one thing. It's so much better than supermarket hummus.
So much better.
So whatever you choose, the stuff that comes in a tub that is full of citric acid doesn't come even close to the freshly made homemade. So
nowhere is close.
A tin of chickpeas, if that's all you can get, is absolutely fine. It's great.
Provided you remove all those skins, okay? And no olive oil inside and ice.
Yeah, we agree on all that.
All those rules.
So this is the last of our
Shelf love.
Food52.
Yeah.
And it's such a great way to finish with all these wonderful plates of hummus, because hummus is it just brings people together, and it was so much fun doing these series where food was bringing everybody to us, to our little test kitchen.
Yeah, and I think it just totally captures shelf love, where you can just use something so humble, like the humble chickpea, and make really delicious food out of it, and get everyone to come and tear some bread and share the love.
Share the love.
Share the shelf love.
Share the shelf love, yes.
So which one won?
So thick and fluffy.
The jarred chickpeas one.
Okay.
This jarred chickpea.
This jarred chickpea.
Yeah, this jarred chickpea.